nobody's listening. Just go from there.
One reason I would say to maybe not press start, to not press publish, is it's now starting to dawn on me just how much of my voice is out there, right? Which, especially as we move into this,
you're going to be talking about those AI things.
Exactly, exactly.
They're going to get you saying some weird shit,
mate. Although
not that you already do
So
yourself.
we have actually launched a couple of episodes. I don't know if we're going to pick it up again, but me and Damien did a podcast called Funny AI.
Yes, I saw you advertise that. Yeah.
And so the basic idea of that was we'd ask each other a question and then ask AI the question and see which was funnier in terms of the answer that came up with that. We've only done a couple of episodes of it, but the more we've done it, the more AI has gone into it. So we've had, first of all, the answers were AI, and then the voice that came back. First episode, we had a voice actor do it. Then the second episode, we used AI voice.
Yeah. Any copyright infringement on that?
Yeah. There is not on the voice. It depends what you're using. The problem with it is
like ChatGPT.
So ChatGPT is. So here's the really interesting thing. If you get ChatGPT to generate something, well, let's not even specify this. If you get an AI to generate something, the question mark is has the AI, therefore the person who's programmed the AI and owns it, have they generated it, or have you by putting your command in? So that's the issue there. That's not being tested because it's so new. But some things now, especially when it comes to music, they will have this on. So there are lots of them out there where you can just put an introduction. You go, please do this, please do this. Actually, we've got some really nice AI artwork I can show you. If you go back to the Instagram.
Oh, is it recent or is it like
a
few
just
months
scroll up.
AI artwork?
Scroll up. A bit more. There we go. So these two. So these are both.
Also, AI drew those, created those.
Yeah.
Oh, the hands are a bit dodgy.
Yeah, the hands are fucking
so
weird.
Which
dodgy.
AI specifically drew this?
So this was using, I think it was the Bing, which was using DALL-E.
Is this free?
Of it. Yeah, as long as you're not using it for commercial purposes. So we're not selling this.
Right. Okay.
But then what I really like is the bloody stick and the whiskey on the right hand side there. So that was one of our episodes.
That's good.
And it's wonderful. And actually, what's happened here is
that's really good.
Yeah. So we have this thing where there's this fear of AI. Right?
There's a definite fear of
There's
AI.
an absolute.
There has
fear
been
of
for years, to be honest. First, it was machines, which is technically AI, and then
so my worry was that there's so much of my voice out there is that if anybody wants to access my online banking or my telephone banking or create a Terminator, they could use my voice to do it. They just find it. But the fear about AI is like kind of going, it's gonna stop jobs, it's gonna all these things. But what I see it as being, it's an accelerator. And so two things that happened with the AI art when I started experimenting, I drove Damien mad, right? I mentioned earlier about how he's got 2 kids and limited time. I was sending him about 500 images a day, right? Because I got, for about a month, I swear to God, because there's like a formula to write in what you want. And we got so many great images and so many awful images as well, but we're getting close to it. And what happened was it gave me inspiration from, in fact, Pimark there. If you click on the Pimark, I think that's one of our adverts. We can play it with the audio as well. I think this is an AI advert. Yeah, okay.
Okay. Hang on.
I think the microphone is down there.
Yeah, I'm just...
Flakier than a vicar's scalp, you'll love our pies. Nicely priced pies at stores nationwide and a high number of outlets around the Barrie area. No judgment.
Pimark, yeah! Pimark!
Why have we got a pirate mascot? Pimark. Because if there's no Pimark, it's just Greg. See, that's better than the pirate's contribution. Call my agent. Shop the latest pies at Pimark. Hot pies, cold pies.
That voice is AI.
Wow. How do you do that then? How does this work?
Well, we wrote the script, but what happened was, I was talking about being inspired.
Yeah.
I'd gone to a gig, came out of the gig and saw the Primark sign and just went, Primark, right? And then we wrote the script, and that's one of the adverts on the show that we have. And so you can take a voice, you can clone a voice. Yeah. There's stuff you can do now where my friend just put a thing up recently where it's him speaking in Italian. So this is but he doesn't speak Italian. So it's video footage of him talking runs it through a translator, and then runs a finger over his mouth. So it looks, and it uses his voice, his tone of voice, to speak Italian. Now, my thought with that is, rather than be, yes, it is scary, but I've instantly gone, we could do a back catalogue in different languages.
Yes, you could
Yeah,
transcribe
we can go
all
through,
of them.
not transcribe,
Well,
but actually
transcribe, yeah.
But again, the thing is, it's not being dubbed. It's in the original voice of the person that we've got. We've still got the
So
files.
as if you could speak those languages.
Exactly, and that's
Mandarin.
I mean, I could still ni hao ma, what aini washi wani, which is hello, how are you? I love you. I really like you. I used to be able to know. I'm drunk. Take me home, but I can't remember that one.
Is that AI as well? That one?
So this one's AI too as well. So so the brilliant thing about this was I started experimenting with it.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, hang on.
Okay.
Where's the microphone gone?
Down here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just sit there.
For Chris.
Right. So the thing with the AI here. So as you can see, there's different things, and I gave it the style. So I'm experimenting around it. So
Yes, I was wondering, well, what are you telling it? What things are you saying?
So you're putting a so on this one, for example, I would have said right, ginger-haired, long curly ginger-haired wrestler, right? And then sat on a pile of money, right? That's literally what it. And then in a graphic art style, in a graphic novel style, those are the prompts to give it. You can even go down to the different artists that you got in the style of. It's John Romero who did Kick-Ass and those kind of things, or the Marvel artists and those kind of things. Now, one of the things that happened when I was starting to do this is some of these images popped up, and some of the stuff that we've done visually is very powerful. So in Night of the Ninja, which was last year's Halloween episode, which is where the champ is fighting Voodoo, who's a real wrestler. This is what I love about it. And he's come over into the podcast universe. So fighting a real wrestler, and then there's zombies, right? So there's a scene where the champ gets back to his Picanto, and he has to fight off the zombies to get to the Picanto. And visually, so I just put this scene in graphic novel, and the picture came out. It was amazing. And then I started to put other things in. Now, there's some limits with it, especially at the stage now where you can't lock specific things in. So, for example, like some of these images that we got now, like this wrestler here, this graphic novel on the Blood is Thicker Than Whiskey, we have that image, but then I can't hold that face to the next image. So if I give the same prompt, it's going to come out slightly different. Now, the advantage of that is sometimes it would, from the same prompt, it would put me in gold hot pants or gold tights, but then other times it would just add in, red wristbands. And so that was one of the things that I went, that's really cool. We should have that in the costume. We never thought about having red wristbands, right? These things that happen from it. But we started to realize that actually you can't. So we were looking into the copyright. Could we generate a whole graphic novel using the AI as a basis? Not quite. But what we could do, what we could do is we could get a really fucking good mood board that we then give to an artist, and we say, here's the images, something like this. Can you do that?
Because artists would love. You've got definitive inspiration there for them to work from. Whereas a lot of people, sometimes people come with like a vague idea and they kind of know what they want, but they can't verbalize it. But you've asked AI, sort of giving you a really good draft.
Yeah, and also in terms of like when you go back to the fact that there's just two of us, we're working around, just other jobs and things like that to produce what we want. It then gives us the opportunity where to try, because we do work with the real people and other voices, and we've been doing that for years. But we don't want to take the piss. We're very aware that, and we have a list of these people, and when we can, we've gone back to them and we've paid them to come and do something. But we're also like, even then, we're paying them below market rates for what they're doing. They're helping us out. But one, we want to keep things interesting, working with other people, but also we want to be respectful. Sometimes we hit this wall, time, those kinds of things. We can't find the right voice. We can use the AI, and we've tried that. Now that's Damien through his job is really pushing the envelope on that and do some really interesting things with that as well. And so I see it very much as an exciting thing. I think there are absolute limited, like we've seen in terms of the fingers and the hands is something that should also legs as well. Like wrestling positions, there's some really, it's like watching The Thing, right? When it comes out, there's like limbs coming out from all sorts of weird places. But it's enabled us to do stuff, and it gives us a springboard.
Yeah.
And actually, one of the episodes that we're doing later this season is, one of the episodes that we're definitely doing was written by ChatGPT.
All right.
And that's the basis for our episode. So I said to ChatGPT, and obviously it's got no awareness because of its limitations of who the character is and what's there. So you've got to get it all in the prompt. So it says, here's the characters, here's the thing. Write a funny Indiana Jones style adventure, but with Monty Python humor, right? Of a wrestling adventure, right? And it gave us rather than a full script, it gave us a 4-act with a prologue and an epilogue.
Wow.
For structure for a story, right? And it's about the champ and Damien, and they hear about this legendary golden belt, and so then they go on this trip to some exotic locations trying to find it. Then they find the belt, but to get the belt, it's protected by this opponent that the champ has to defeat to get it. And then when he defeats him and gets the belt, he realizes he didn't need the belt all along because he had it in him. Right? And then at the end, he retires from wrestling and becomes a motivational speaker with Damien as his manager. Now, this was all written in 30 seconds by the AI. Now,
that's awesome.
And so we're using that as a structure. So we're still working on it. Like we potentially there's
great. Yeah, it's good.
There's a few different ways we can do this. Also, we have an idea for Champ GPT. Which is where he'll do his own version of AI as well.
Yes.
But that's a bit more Space 2001, Space Odyssey 2001
Yeah.
in terms of how that works out. But yeah, it's a really exciting tool that comes in with that, and also like other things in AI. Have you used Adobe Audio Enhancer?
Is that the one that's it's a website?
So yeah, so you basically you can set up a free Adobe account.
Yes, I have.
If you already have anything.
Yeah.
And basically what it'll do is it'll take the audio that you've recorded and it will clean it up. Now, it's still in the beta phase. It's still working through.
Yeah, you can work up to an hour chunks.
Yeah. You can also now, but it'll do it in one block rather than specific sections. But it will clean up the audio, stop mic bleed, all those kind of things. It's a bit brutal in how it does it because it's so powerful, because there's been times when anybody that doesn't work with audio, when you look at a waveform, you can see the peaks and troughs when people talk. You can also see like a spectrographic view, which is like colors and warmth, a bit like how the predator sees.
Yeah.
Right. And so sometimes when you go, oh, that's a quiet bit, you can see the breath and you can see these other things. Now, even on the spectrographic things, I've looked at that and gone, there's nothing there. And then it's run through this processor and it's pulled up the audio.
To show that there was something there.
Yeah, which is amazing because, like, say for example, you've got some old footage of something you got never recorded. Put it through this, and you'll be amazed what you can pull out.
Sometimes when you get like a loud talker talking to a quiet talker, there's a lot of disparity there. That just brings it back to.
I mean, it'll work.
Or it gets, like you said, big loud background noise gone.
Yeah. The other thing that's making a big difference is, do you know about like 32-bit float?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that basically means is when you hear audio that distorts, it's because the processing is in a very narrow band, and traditionally most things like CDs is on 16-bit, and now 32-bit float, it basically means you could hear like an ant fart and also a nuclear bomb go off, and you would hear them both without having to change the levels for the recording.